Hi Aries, how are y'all doing? Y'all are number, I think, 7. Yeah, y'all number 7 this week. I think last week y'all were number 12. So shout out to y'all for increasing your views. Um, my name is Marlissa. This is At Word from Mars Tarot, and I'm here to do a past, present, and future reading for you. Aries, what can I say, y'all? I'm a rising Aries, so no shade, but it's like I see some like consistent energy here, or like stubborn energy that has carried on from your past, your present, and even into your future as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. Please like this video. All right, like it, so that way other Aries such as yourself can see this reading, and subscribe if you have not, already. So the signs that I see here in this past reading are Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo, and heavy Leo energy. So you may be connected to a Leo, or you may have a Leo placement. But from what I see here, um, there was some sort of significant ending. All right, it could have happened with any one of those signs: Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, or it could have happened during those seasons: Aquarius, Leo, or Scorpio, or Leo season. But there was some sort of significant ending, and it changed their world. All right, it changed their world. During that time frame, Aries, you may have been in a more like defensive place, 9 of Wands energy, where you're feeling like you have to defend yourself. But this ends up being like a little bit unnecessary. It's like being on the like heavier defensive end, okay? To the point where you were probably being stubborn. Like you may have thought that you were being courageous and, strong, but I feel like there was stubbornness there that was present. And maybe for some of you, that's because it's like if typically when we feel the need to defend ourselves, you don't feel heard, you don't feel seen. Um, but just be mindful of that, like, moving forward. I also could see that there was an energy of not knowing what you wanted to do. Like you were struggling to handle your responsibilities, like juggle things that were important to you. And that could have been multiple people. If you're dating multiple people, that could have been um, your responsibilities and having fun. It could have been making a decision. You were having a very tough time in the past with some decision making and balancing your priorities, with this 2 of Wands at the bottom of the deck as well. You were having to pondering about whether you should move forward, or if you were going to choose to stay comfortable. Okay. You were going to have to be strong to choose to do something different, because Aries, you might be connected, or you may have a fixed like sign in your chart, like Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Leo. And you may really like consistency, so sometimes trying new things can be hard for you unless you're being impulsive, and that don't count. All right. So presently, you may be seeing 222, or 2323, or like 333. Okay. Presently, you still have the energy of the world. All right. So there is some sort of ending happening right now. But the thing about the world, this card is called the universe. So again, Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio. All right. The thing about the world, the universe card is that things are ending, but it's also so new cycles can start, and so a new beginning can come as well. Um, so some of you, I don't know if you're fighting this ending, but the thing is, the ending is happening. Like when you have a card like the universe, it's nothing that you can do about it. Like this ending is happening regardless. All right. So I want you to get better at that. Like from what I see here is like accepting change, accepting endings, letting things go. Okay. I do not know what you're suffering in silence about, Aries, but there is something that you're keeping under wraps, that you're being called to speak up about. And you're not only being quiet about it, but it's hurting you. There's deep sorrow here. Okay. We have the throat chakra. I speak is the mantra that goes along with it. So yeah, it's time to speak up, Aries. Speak the fuck up. All right. It's time to speak up. And more so specifically about your wants and your desires, your needs. Okay. So maybe this isn't a relationship. Maybe this is talking to God, source, spirit, universe. Maybe this is, talking to someone else in your life, about what you want and what you need from them, or what you want and what you need yourself. Okay. And again, this energy is still here with this movement, choices, and decisions at the bottom of the deck. So you're still struggling from the past into present. You're still struggling to make some decisions. You're struggling to find balance in your physical world. Some of you may be thinking about like jobs and money. Some of you may be thinking about your growth. Some of you may be thinking about marriage. All right, you're struggling in that area still. Okay. In the future, the overall energy of the spread is the Four of Swords. So, with whatever you go through, when you're choosing to move on from something, for some of you may have a mother wound and it may be a mother, all right? You're going to need to rest. Whatever this is that takes place and happens, you're going to need to rest, and you're going to also need to rely on people that you work well with and that you trust. Okay? We have this Four of Swords energy. It's about peace. It's about recuperating. So self-care, really. Prioritize that in the near future and distant future. Always remember that. Like, I need to take care of myself. Sometimes you're going to need to, even like when you're married or have kids or whatever, if you don't have those things yet, you're probably a person that's always going to need some sort of solitude to get yourself together. So just keep that in mind, okay, Aries? I see this a card at the bottom of the deck, which talks about teamwork, collaboration, working, and learning. All right. So when you are, struggling to make some decisions, or struggling to move on from something, or struggling to heal from something, or even when you need to retreat, some of you all need to rely on some friends, and also specifically friends who get the bag too. All right. Everybody has like their own pentacle. Friends who, it's not even just about money. It's about friends who do the work like on themselves. This is about friends who have goals. All right. You want to be around like-minded people. That's something that's very important for you, Aries. So even still, so it's in your past, it's in your present, even in the future, I still see disorganization with this Two of Pentacles reverse. So let me show you in each reading what the card is look like. This time it just came out reversed. All right. Which can mean the same thing, but sometimes worse, like a heavier energy. So in reverse, this is you, overcommitting. Okay. It could be, it's in parallel. So either you're overcommitting in your future, Aries, or you are having an inability to commit. All right. And just know that someone may walk away from you if you have an inability to commit. I also just heard maybe this is not you. Maybe because you had to work through the Two of Pentacles in the past and in your present, that in the future, you may end up being in relationship, with somebody who refuses to commit, or they overcommit to everybody else around them, and you may end up walking away from them. But if this is you, Aries, in the future, you are still disorganized. So make sure you're calling on some help to get yourself organized and together. All right. Some of you, it could be, you get pregnant. I'm just saying, some of you could get pregnant, and that shift to motherhood ends up being a challenge for you. And you're going to need to rely on, friends and your resources to help you, get organized. It's a difference only taking care of yourself. Then when you have yourself, a partner, and a kid, that's a whole nother ball game. All right. Some of you also could have issues with the mother figure. Some of you could have a mother wound. All right. That still needs some healing. This is sign of Libra and Taurus. Okay, you could also be connected to an Empress. All right. Now, what I will say is, Aries, if you do not do right by an Empress, she will walk away from you with this Eight of Cups here. Moving on, moving forward. So I don't know if you're being walked away from, Aries, or if you're walking away from somebody. But in the future, you know, somebody is unfulfilled. And so they're gonna leave. They're gonna search for the truth, search for some answers, let go. All right. So just be mindful of that. Okay. Now, the last two cards here, we have self-awareness. This reminds me of sign of Pisces. Tapping into your higher self, questioning routines and patterns. So, Aries, I definitely support you in sitting down and grounding yourself and figuring out some of your patterns, especially when it comes to overcommitting or being scared of commitment. When it comes to being disorganized, like it's like, all right, like I need to be more aware of my routines and patterns and figuring out what's working and what's not. Excuse me, to improve yourself, but also to help you in your relationships. We have past life connection. Someone with heavy influence from a past life is with you. So right now you could be connected to somebody that, you know, you're very comfortable with, right? And even if it's something newer, it's like, why do I feel so connected? It's because it's a past life connection. Also, some of you may have an ancestor that is trying to connect with you. So make sure you're talking to them, or if you don't have an altar, get one. And even if you don't have an altar, still, you know, figure something out when it comes to connecting with your ancestors, because somebody may be trying to speak with you. Okay. These endings are here for a reason, Aries, in your past and in your present. Make sure you speak up so you can stop suffering in silence and get your shit together, get organized, and receive the help. Okay? I love y'all. I hope it all comes together. See you next time. Please like and subscribe. Bye.